guys, welcome to accessibility testing. In this edition, we will discuss setting up Cypress with TypeScript, Cypress-Axe, and Cypress core. These are just like the components you need to do the Cypress accessibility testing. I mean, this is increasingly getting popular in this day and age, especially when you're working for public companies or public sectors, for you to actually get into the company and be able to like do accessibility testing. There are a range of tools to actually do like loads of accessibility testing, but Cypress-Axe is one of the tools that you can use to actually automate the process so that you can at least have something running in the pipeline. It doesn't really, in my opinion, do an in-depth testing of accessibility tests, because most of them still requires you to like actually just go in like visually impaired thing, like when you're testing for like audio thing, hearing things, you need to actually manually go and do these things. But let's dive into this series. Today we'll just be doing like setup of all the things you need. So let's start. What's the prerequisite? Well, the prerequisite is that you have Node installed on your machine. For me, I've got it installed already. If you haven't, there's so many ways to obviously just go online and make sure you have Node installed. Also check that you have npm installed on your machine. These two are the core things that you actually need to actually set up like a simple test to do automated version of the accessibility testing, as we said. So let's begin. Obviously, again, because we're going to be journeying in this series on TypeScript option, I mean, you can do this with ex6 option as well, but for the TypeScript option, you've got to be able to like have a basic understanding of TypeScript to be able to like follow along. There are so many videos on the internet how to like learn basic TypeScript, but let's start. So the first thing is, let's go to the console here. I'm just going to clear all these things that we actually typed so we can have a clear console. First thing we need to do is to create a directory where we need to actually just do this project. Maybe we can give it a name. So let's make a directory. So if I say mkdir -p here, so let's make a directory called probably like, let's say accessibility, let's say test. So if we do that and just get into it, accessibility test, and get into it. Well, now that we're into this directory, first thing to do is to like initialize this directory into to become a node project. So how do we do that? Just do npm init -y to answer all the basic questions, really. I haven't got time to really go through all the questions, but so I put -y option to like use the default values. So that's done. What's the next thing you need to do? Well, obviously at this stage you can choose to actually go and open this up. I am opening my thing up on a VS Code, but obviously option is yours. Just do what you want to do. So let's get back into the console. On the console here, the next thing I want to do is to be able to like install all the tools that I need. What are those tools? In fact, for a start, let's just install only Cypress at the minute, just to make this a Cypress project. So what do we need to do? We just go, I'm using npm, you can use yarn or whatever, or pnpm, whatever package option that you like to use in managing your node. Install Cypress-Axe, press and enter, paste this through and just press and enter. Let's see if that package is still available. If it's available, it would install the latest version of that. So let's go and wait for it. It's only going to take a few minutes. Once this Cypress-Axe is installed, the next thing we need to install is we go ahead and install Cypress and actually Axe core. These are the two more packages that we would install once this one is done. We'll come back in a minute once this installation is done and install the sub dependencies. Installation is done, as you can see. So this is, it has actually installed Cypress-Axe. So the next thing you need to do is to install Cypress and Axe core itself, really. So let's go here and just install that now. Let's wait for that. That one is installed as well. So this will install the latest version of Cypress, and then this one will install the Axe core. which is, these are the three components we need for the testing. So as you can see here, we got these three components. As at the time of recording, the Cypress is 13.15.2, Cypress-Axe is 1.5.0, and Axe Core is 4.10.2. So these are just the three basic packages that we need to actually just get things running. What's the next thing we need to do? The next thing we need to do is to come here and just set up like probably like a way we can actually just open up Cypress and then eventually convert this project to a TypeScript project. Let's like put on Cypress project for now. So here I'll just invoke Cypress and say Cypress open. This Cypress open is the same as Cypress debug. So for me, I like to call it Cypress debug here. So that this would do for the time being. What's the next thing we need to do? We can actually like bootstrap this project, but for me, I like us to go ahead and install TypeScript because I want to do TypeScript option actually, just show you guys how it's done. So what's the TypeScript? How do we install TypeScript? Well, we go here and just install TypeScript. This would install the latest TypeScript for us at this point in time. So that's TypeScript installed. If you come here, you have these four packages for now. I mean, this TypeScript is optional really because you can do like exes. Obviously, just go and do the configuration for those ones. Now we've done TypeScript now, installed it on this machine, we can actually go and initialize this project and get it, you know, like going as a TypeScript project. How do we do that? Easily. So what we can do is to type npx tsc init. So we initialize these options that I've listed out here are the basic things that I need. I mean, some of these are really like noisy, to be honest. You can just like strip it down more, but these are just the basic options that I need. I'm just going to go ahead and initialize, and this will just simply create tsconfig.json for me, and then it will come with all of these options. I think what is important here is that just make sure that when you go to your type, find wherever this type is, make sure you get Cypress enabled there. So let's go to type. This is type here. I'm just going to make this one to come alive, and once it's alive, I just make sure that I load Cypress. And also, what else do I need to do here? I can actually make sure that node is also specified here. These are the two things that really matters to me at the minute. Also, some people go to lib and do ex6, and obviously they also like just make sure that they have DOM as well. These are all optional. This one is really optional, but I think you need to like get this one going because this one says specify the package name to be included without being referenced in the source file. So this can be used. So all of this comment here are here for you to like go through them and find out what is actually going on, what you need and what you don't need. So now that this is fully created, the next thing that we do with these four packages, the next thing we need to do is to really open up the project, and at this point in time, it will bootstrap the project as a TypeScript project. Let's do that. So we do, I mean, if you're using yarn, just do that. For me, I'm just using npm install again, just to make sure that every package is there. And then the next thing is npm run, and I'll say sci debug. Just type that, press and enter. This will spin up the project quickly for me. You can see it's just saying that Cypress is, if it's your first, it looks like it's your first time. Yes, it is our first time. So let's bring up this thing, and it will say that this E2E is not configured. If it is not configured, is probably just our time to go ahead and configure that. So let's configure that. You can see that all these default configs are now in TypeScript. So what do we need to do? Just accept the defaults and go on. For now, I just go with Electron and just start. So here it gives you two options here to actually create an empty spec, or just to bootstrap with you know, like default options really. I mean, we can go with this or go with whatever. So I'll just go with one and then create, and it just gives me bootstraps TypeScript project. So here you go. I just want to make sure that one of them passes, and there you go, everything else passes. So now that it has finished, what I like to do is to cancel them and delete these things. But it has given me the structure that I really crave. Once I've got that, the next thing for me now to do is to jump in and begin to like customize and set up my Cypress-Axe, and then to be able to do the accessibility test. So let's kill this one, and I'm going to also kill this one, and I'm going to actually kill this one. This one killed itself already. So let's clear this console and then get back to the project. So here on the project here, what do you need to do? First thing I like to do is inside here, I like to set up the base URL and just find the any website that we really want to be testing. I mean, option is yours really. We can just go ahead and test the basic Cypress website that we were given. So for instance here, there's a website here. We can just use this one to do the accessibility test. So I'll centralize it here. I mean, if you got any other web, obviously in your case, just put your company thing that you want to access here. Just put the base URL that you want to be accessing here. I think this for now, this is just the major configuration that we want to be doing here. The other thing we want to do is that we want to now quickly, obviously these two, I don't need them anymore. I can just right click and delete them, and then right click and delete this one as well. Right, so that's gone. The next thing I need to do is to now go and set up my Cypress-Axe core inside this project, because obviously once it's installed, you see that they are here. So let's now go in and set them up. Okay, so the next thing, as we say, so we just go and set up this one. Once we set it up, there's something else we have to come back to this config and do. Let's dive into it quickly. So what we need to do is to go to our support directory, and some people just go to their E2E and just do that. We go to our E2E, I include this command here. So we just go here and, oh, sorry, just we control command Z, and I would say import here, and I would import here, I would say Cypress-Axe. There you go, just take that one, and then this one, obviously this like that, and just that one. Sorry, for me I just do that. So now that I have imported this now, just don't worry about this for now. Once I have imported this, I think everything else should really be fine. But what we now need to do quickly is to go to our TS config and just make sure that we have Cypress core there, so Cypress-Axe there as well. So let's go and go to the type. Where is my type again? There you go. So this is my type. Inside the types, I'll just go here and just say I need to make sure that I have this Cypress-Axe in here. So for now, just I've got Cypress-Axe, and that should really do. The other thing though, if you want to have, again, I think I mentioned this, is in your lib, you can do DOM, you can do ex6, you can, some people actually just go to the point of also doing like ex6 next if you want that. I think this should really be enough, to be honest with you. And then the base URL, most people also put their base URL here as well. So just find it if it's here. So let's say base URL, it is here, you can switch it on. These are like things that you may or may not have really. And finally, you can also like come over down here after you have set up your types, and just come before closing this, just go here and just say include, and include everything. So here I'll just say include, it comes out, and here I'm just going to include a dot, which is essentially the current directory. So once you've done this now, once everything here is complete, what you can do is to actually either restart this project or probably just leave it as is, but that should really be the end of configuration really for you.